going up above and beyond, doing a doctor's first call, following up with them, making sure they're following your recommendations. These are all extra mile products, but the one component that I can give you today is showing appreciation. You know, in many cases, when you're running a chiropractic business, it's easiest to get your focus and attention on the factors that really aren't components of a service industry type business. In other words, you can so easily get lost in the marketing or the new patients or the procedures or the collections, insurance, all those distractions. While they are a part of the overall business, the key to remember in a chiropractic office is first and foremost, you're in what's called the service industry. All right, so you're not in sales. If it feels like you're constantly selling chiropractic, then that's not going to be a very rewarding, and a lot of times it's not a very productive manner, because those components of that retail model don't really translate over to the service industry. So first and foremost, it's a service business. It's part of the reasons why you became a chiropractor in the first place. But you know, another component of being in the service industry in particular is that you are in the people business. All right. So folks, if you don't understand how to relate or how to create value in a people oriented business, then you're going to have shortfalls, all right? And really everything's going to come down to, let's get to it, everything's going to boil down to, it's not going to be the staff, it's not going to be the marketing, it's not going to be the overhead and things of that nature. Everything that's going to be accomplished in your practice is going to eventually come down to the values of that doctor-patient relationship. You're in the relationship business. So if you're in the people business and that revolves around creating relationships, then it would be pretty important to understand what are key components to establishing value in relationships. Now, first and foremost, the number one is love, right? So I could spend the entire time talking about love, because you've got to love what you do, you got to love your patients, you got to love chiropractic. Those are important. Hope, providing hope to patients is a critical component to a relationship, especially a doctor-patient relationship, where there's providing hope, things to look forward to, things to live up to. I could spend my time unpacking that. But I'm going to get to one of the vital components that really comes down to the value established between human beings. And we truly recognize and value in our own lives where we feel appreciated. All right. So the value of appreciation, I heard it once said that appreciation is the bond between human beings that makes life worthwhile. And when we feel appreciated and valued, we tend to have a loyalty to that person or that industry or that component. All right, we're going to have a loyalty to that business per se. It's not necessarily the service that's rendered that makes the difference. It's the fact that I feel valued and appreciated. So, you know, inside the aligned family, learning how to show appreciation and create value in the relationship is something that we spend a lot of time on. Now, I don't have time to unpack all those components, but you know, inside our the retention factors of patient retention in the relationship, we'll spend time in things that hit components that makes it a personal relationship. Now, we don't want to create friends, all right? Friends don't have a lot of respect and value, all right? So they can like you, and like is an important part. So we got to get them to like us. We got to get them, but if we just get them to like us, then there's not a lot of respect and value there. So we don't want to practice full of friends. We want to practice that they like us, we like them, they respect and value what we offer. It's not what drives referrals is very rarely the actual results. In other words, that's why so many times chiropractors get frustrated that the patients aren't referring nonstop because, hey, I've helped you with your headaches. I helped you with the shoulder pain. Why aren't you telling everybody? Because if it was based on more of a per pay for service and it's more of a friendship relationship, there's no value there. How do you establish value? So inside the AMC aligned system, there's different factors where we're going to touch on those kind of motivating factors. But one in particular is showing appreciation, going the extra mile inside the first 10 to 15 visits of a care plan is going the extra mile, bumping the slump, showing them, giving them extra service, going above and beyond, doing a doctor's first call, following up with them, making sure they're following your recommendations. These are all extra mile products, but the one component that I can give you today is showing appreciation. Now, of course, you can show appreciation simply by each and every time they come in, interacting with them, saying, hey, Mrs. Jones, I really appreciate you're doing a great job. You're a wonderful patient. You're following through with the recommendations. You're taking your care seriously. I just want to say I thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you giving your best, and you're going to get my best. All right? That's an easy way. But one way to get consistent with it is something called thank you grams. All right? So how often, because thankfulness is a key component to setting high expectations and getting high results in your practice. In other words, there's an old phrase that says, thinking good is thanking God, and thanking God is thinking good. And it's hard to beat a thankful heart. And people like to be around a thankful heart. And one way to do that is through something called thank you grams, thank you notes. I didn't say a thank you printed letter, thanking them for, coming to the accepting care to your practice. I'm talking about a hand-addressed, handwritten, simple note, and looking for ways to be thankful. Now look, once you thank your friends, you thank your family, and you thank the referring patients, it takes time to actually develop a thankful heart. You've got to look for ways to be thankful. What are you thankful for? And the more thankfulness that you plant, I promise you, it's the seed principle. If we show appreciation and we send out thank you cards and thank you notes and just thankfulness in general, you're going to get the 100-fold return in the seed principle. You're going to see value come back. So today's episode is essentially learning to get consistent with you and your staff, sending a minimum of, I like to do 2 thank you grams a day. That's 10. I'm responsible for sending 10 notes of appreciation. That's 40 a month just for me. My staff, my associates, they all do the same. So I'm sending out as much as 100 to 120. That's a lot of postage, but you know what? That's a lot of thankfulness into my community. And you plant thankfulness in a community, the value will come back, the appreciation will come back, the loyalty and retention will come back. You can't ever send out enough thankfulness is what I'm saying. So today's message to you, a lot of different components to it, right? But remember, you're in a people business and you need to invest in the relationships of people. And the best way to do that is to show your appreciation for what they are and who they are to you, and look for ways to be thankful. It's not always just a patient that you're thankful for. Sometimes it could be as easy as me passing somebody on the way to work that grows roses in their yard. And I happen to love roses. I love landscaping. So I'll literally stop and get their name and address off their mailbox, and I'll send them a note. They don't have a clue who I am, but it has nothing to do with it. The idea is to become thankful, show appreciation, and you'll get that value coming back in droves in your life. Hope you found this valuable. Hope certainly that you can start utilizing it and seeing the effects of what appreciation does between human beings. With that, I'll tell you, I love and appreciate you as a chiropractor. I appreciate the opportunity that I get to serve alongside you in this wonderful profession that we call chiropractic. With that, Aligned is here for you, and we love and appreciate the chiropractic profession, and we're always standing by. God bless.